Alright, we be back. The sun sets and the hall is filled with darkness. Again, intros are always so awkward in this series, because in like my Let's Plays, it's just like, hey, we're back, yada yada yada, talking about everything that's going on and what I'm doing and junk, but here it's, hi, time to read. The sun sets and the hall is filled with darkness. We came here to look for an ally, but the only thing remaining here after turns of events is this empty castle. Weird sentence. So, what will we do now? We can stay here if we want to go into defense. There's food and beds here. If we fix the walls, we can probably manage to protect ourselves inside the castle. That's the best thing we can do if we want to protect ourselves. But we chose the path to fight because we couldn't do so. No, it's meaningless even if we fortify. Any defense will be penetrated once Castor completely controls Saber. And even if we do survive here, it doesn't matter if Castor obtains the Holy Grail. Not only us, but the people in town will suffer as well. And there's only one thing to do. We'll get Saber back before Castor controls her. We have to defeat Castor, Archer, Assassin, and Kuzuki-sensei by ourselves. Very easy. I silently nod. Since we cannot get Ilya's help, that's all we can do. The sun will completely set soon. We'll have to get out of this place before that and attack Castor before Saber is completely controlled. But, oh, then is this the next day? Night stay night? It's a simple plan. The process will change depending on the situation. Our only objective is to confront Castor as a result. It doesn't even matter if that happens for an instant, if that only happens for an instant. Castor is the weakest when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. Even if she may be a servant, there is a chance of victory if we can fight our 2 against 1. Tosaka's jewels and my projection magic. We can win if we use all of our abilities. That's results we came up with, and we go out into the forest believing in it. We don't talk after that. There's only one reason not to. We're desperately bluffing to try to deceive ourselves. The morning light is gray. The sun is blocked by clouds obscuring the dawn. A cloudy sky is above us. The sky is more gray than black, and it reminds me of that time 10 years ago. It should rain soon. An impure gray sky. The man is standing below the cloudy sky. So, you did come. I know your personality. I knew you would come back with some sort of plan. He stares at her with cool eyes. I'm sorry, Archer. I can't live up to your expectations. We have nothing to start out with. We thought for a day, but we couldn't come up with anything. What? You might not believe me, but we're here today to die honorably. But I guess we're still a bit lucky if you're here. It means Saber is still opposing Castor. So there's 4 enemies now. Oh, that's 0. If we pass Archer, we can fight Castor and Assassin head-on. Our plan is that we would fight Archer together and confront Castor with the 2 of us. That's the lie Tosaka made up. I see. Castor and Emiyashiro. The scales tip to Castor, huh? Archer's question is a loaded one. Yes. I hate my own personality, but I guess I can't change it since I'm born with it. I'm inhuman at the very end. Saying so with an emotionless voice, Tosaka steps forward. Shiro, Archer will only attack you. I won't back you up. I'll try to fight Castor while you get killed. Tosaka apologizes with her back turned, confessing that she intended to use me as a sacrifice from the start. How stupid of her. She didn't have to say such a thing. Don't worry about it, you idiot. I know your personality. Huh? You're not one to do anything without a chance of victory, right? That's why I knew. This is certainly the only way we'll have a chance of winning. Shiro. Her back shakes a bit. Oh. That's all the apology I need. Something's missing from this? I'm not gonna spoil it in case you don't know, but something's definitely missing from this. Go, I'll keep Archer busy. I'll keep him here at least until you make it into the church. I controlled my breathing and turned the gears off of the engine. I feel great. I should be able to project his swords in this state. Thanks. I'm sorry, Shiro. Tosaka runs. Archer lets her go as if he has no interest in her. Well done. It seems you understand your own powers. He emits an intent to kill. Trace? On. I project his twin swords. The battle should be decided in an instant. I only see Archer and the back of Tosaka running to the church. Was it over in one blow, or was it able to last a few seconds? The battle has ended. I look up at the sky powerlessly. A gray cloud is overhead. It should rain soon. The sky is near, and the clouds block my way like a wall. What? Tosaka, please be safe. Tosaka, please be safe. Sorry, I had to reread that line. My body is burning. I hear the sound of flames from the church. The sun is too far away from my outstretched hand. It looks like the time from 10 years ago. That was the longest bad end ever. Even though people have said this Tiger Dojo is meaningless, it is already in its 23rd session. Well, this is a sudden announcement, but this is the last Tiger Dojo in Part 2. Huh? But we have one more Tiger Dojo in Part 2 according to the schedule. Don't talk about the 24th one. I have no business with a weakling that'll die that way. Osu. I don't quite get it, but this is the last Tiger Dojo of Part 2? Yup. There was a rumor on Part 1's final Tiger Dojo that this corner would be powered up, but I won't fall for something like that this time. We will remain here alone and preserve this modest paradise. Heh. I feel something rebellious. Could this devil child be plotting something again? Oh, that's a misunderstanding. I'm just thinking that I might make you feel lonely because I can't be here often during Part 3. You can't come to the dojo? Could it be Ilya? Yep, I'll be busy taking part in the main storyline. Yeah, it ended up being like this in the Reen route, but Part 3 is when my true worth comes out. It seems you will be taking fewer parts in the main story. My condolences to you. This is the difference between the heroine candidate and the one who is not even considered to be a candidate. Well, you can rest assured that I'll still be your friend even after I become a heroine. Let's see, when I take over the storyline, I can make you my servant. Hey y'all. What are you doing? I'm saying this out of good faith. I don't need it. I don't need love if it's this painful. Actually, you're disqualified to be my student. You will be too bright in my eyes, even if you become a heroine. Get out. Get out. I'm quitting as well. You stupid. I won't forgive you even if you apologize. She's gone. Well, this is fate. If my cute student will become a heroine, it is my role to, as her master to be hated. Fight, Ilya. Go after Sakura and take her spot as a heroine. Don't come back here, because you'll take us away some of my roles. But it's kind of lonely that I have to do the last Tiger Dojo Part 2 by myself. I'm lonely, but I'll do my best. Fight alone, me. Well, this dead end is a bit special. It's too reckless to enter battle with just Shiro and Tosaka. There's no way you can win. And you know you might have something against him, but go ahead and shake hands with the cooperator that appeared. Huh? For those of you for whom the coordinator didn't even appear, you're a failure as a main character. How can you not save a girl that's about to die in front of you? The event at the castle is an important part of the story that reveals a cause that has been hidden up to now. You have to see it. Tosaka's route is almost the main character's route, so go ahead and solve the problem. Well, this is it. Tosaka-san's route is entering this climax. There will be a series of fast events without a dead end after this, but let me give you one piece of good news. Tosaka-san's route has a true end and a good end. I can't tell what each of those is about, but the condition for seeing them is how faithful you were. It's either only one or flowers on both hands. You get to find out after the battle. Alright, everyone, I'll be waiting in Part 3 of Tiger Dojo. So I guess I was supposed to save Ilya. I don't know, seems a little contradictory to put me in a dead end or a bad end after the last time I jumped out to save a friend, and then have a bad end after I don't. My frozen body bursts. My feet lift me up and my arms grab the railing at the same time. I see Tosaka as I do so. She is biting her lips in anger while watching the tragedy below us. I know. Tosaka wants to stop him as well. But we'll be the ones to be killed if we do so. She can't stop him. That goes the same for me as well. I know it's stupid of me to die trying to save a dying girl. I don't care about that. I just can't leave her be. That's all that fills my mind. I jump down over the railing. Tosaka and Shinji both look in surprise at the intruder, but the man does not even look at me. The man reaches for the girl's body. Stop! I yell. I stop him with all my might. Oh? The man stops his arm, and he slowly turns to me like death that found its new prey. Interlude 13-2. Going back over a month, he was summoned into this world before anyone. He was not summoned in this country, a faraway foreign land. The land is always covered in white, the sky is always gray, and the castle is built within a hidden mountain. It is always winter in that land. Coldness and the stagnation, barrenness and longing. As they cut all ties with the present world and await the reproduction of the miracle, they are like living corpses. The cold winter air stills all their human warmth. And the stagnant world does not allow them a new lifestyle. The family is a seeker of the Holy Grail. Spring does not come for the Ainsburn family until their wish is fulfilled. It has been 10 centuries since they started the search for the Holy Grail. As they used every possible method to attain their goal, they were eventually able to forge the Holy Grail. But even then, all they can build is the vessel. The divine mystery that should dwell in there is empty, and they keep building vessels that will never be filled. But a foreseeable end comes to them. They perform a ritual to fill the vessel with help from outsiders. The result is both a success and a failure. The Holy Grail is made. The Holy Grail should be filled with that method. But they make many enemies at the same time. Even though they should be the owners of the Holy Grail, they have been degraded down to common Magi that donate help. Their tenacity is abnormal. No, they have been obsessed since that time 1,000 years ago when they almost obtained the Holy Grail. They broke the rules and constantly pulled out the strongest card. In the first one, they did not have time to do such a thing. In the second one, they finally found a loophole in the rules. In the third one, they summoned what they shouldn't have. And in the fourth one, they were sure of their victory, having the strongest card and its master. The result was a total failure. The servant and the master they selected betrayed them. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna sound super embarrassing, but I almost asked, wait, who was the Ainsburn's master in the Fourth Holy Grail War? And then I was like, oh, right, I'm a loser. I'm a failure as a Fate fan for not remembering that little tidbit instantly. The man destroyed the Holy Grail, leaving behind his wife and daughter in the Winter Castle. They were infuriated with the man's betrayal, and they lamented their mistake. Outsiders cannot be trusted. Their family, and with their perfected magic circuits, will be the only ones who obtain the Holy Grail. They had insurance to begin with, and on the fifth one, they finally prepared the strongest master and servant. It was him. 2 months before the Holy Grail War began, every rule was broken for him, Berserker to be summoned. The days that followed were to only hurt the master. The command spell engraved all over the girl was used to control Berserker. It did no good as a magic circuit and only drained her life away. Even the slightest move on Berserker's part caused the girl to scream in pain. It was only natural. The Holy Grail would appear in 2 months. The only things keeping him in this world were the girl's magical energy and her command spell. Berserker was not created from the magical energy of the Holy Grail. Even if the girl may have been special, to keep Berserker in this world using her own magical energy was like having her life taken away. Knowing that, they just still not allow for her to rest. They abandoned them in the winter forest, filled with hungry beasts. They gave them over to possessed corpses. They threw them in a waste yard full of failures. The only way for the girl to survive was to rely on the giant she had been given. She survived the training that was more like torture. She would let the giant attack the oncoming enemies. She would let out screams of anguish, but she allowed him to attack every one of her enemies. He does not know himself, when the process became a special one for him. In contrast to her young appearance, she hated whining. Everything that came out of her mouth was an insult. She must have instinctively known that she was going to murmur something. She would get stronger when she would insult and hate someone. The girl scorned Berserker for being ugly and cursed his existence. It was only natural. The girl would not have had to suffer if he had not existed. She would not have been thrown in hell if she had not been chosen as a master. The girl insulted the giant every chance she got, and used them to take out her anger. The pain had lessened by the time she mastered Berserker's control, which was when the Holy Grail showed signs of its appearance. The girl took away the giant's sanity as if in revenge, treating him as a mad warrior. But he already knew that this was the girl's desperate opposition. The girl did so to hide her weakness. She walked with pride as if saying that she could live alone, and that she did not need any friends or collaborators. It was a bluff to ignore the fact that she was fated to have nothing. You're a strong berserker. The winter forest. The girl timidly touched the arm covered in blood. Surrounded by hungry beasts, the girl was prepared for her death, but desperately denied it. At that time, he was not able to move without an order from his master, and he was the first to be attacked by the beasts. The beasts bit off pieces of his neck, head, and limbs. With the scene in front of her, the girl screamed. As he had his sanity taken away, he could not recall what she said back then. But the girl yelled not for her sake, but for his. Even though her body was destroyed, whenever he swung his arm, she endured it for his sake. That's why they were both covered in blood. The giant was covered in the beast's blood, and the girl was covered in her own blood. He remembers the winter forest, the weight of the girl that rested on him, crying tears of anguish, and he realized, in that small, cold castle, he was the only one she talked to. No, Berserker! Her figure appears in his vision. It is just like that time. The tears he did not see on her since she became a complete master. The girl is running to him in tears, and the man slashes her. The golden foe gashes her eyes with a single slash, taking her light forever. Her face is covered in red. She still runs in spite of that, but she falls over a piece of rubble as her eyes are cut. The slender body falls over. There, the enemy's sword is brought down. The sword misses her heart. The girl is coughing up blood as her lung must have been pierced. It is not an instant death, but it is fatal. With her eyes slashed, her lungs pierced, and her servant eliminated, she has nothing now. So she should at least die peacefully. It might be a salvation if she would just go to sleep right there. But, it hurts. It hurts, Berserker. The girl crawls, leaving traces of blood. Crying in pain, she crawls towards the black giant. How much power was left in him? Breaking the chains with all his might, he charges at the man. The mnemonic lance is thrust. The heart-piercing lance impales the giant. That ends it. The man pulls out the lance as if nothing has happened, and the remaining power in the giant completely disappears. His body disappears. All the power that was giving his body form has disappeared. So all that is left for him is to disappear. As he ran out of magical energy, there's no way for him to stay in this world. He falls, but in his last living moment, he sees the girl fumbling around for him. Power returns to his falling body, the law of magic that constructed him, the regulation of the world that hates inconsistencies, the body that is crumbling away like sand. You're a strong berserker. He pushes aside all power, trying to eliminate him, using his own power of will. He cannot disappear yet. He is probably the only one she relied on. He has to answer the solitary girl that believed in him, although she insulted him. Where are you? I don't know. It's so dark, Berserker. With her eyes slashed, the girl crawls with her hands stretched out. She must want to feel him, as she cannot see now. The bloodstained hands grope through empty space, trying to verify his presence. There is no power left in him. There's nothing he can do. Berserker will fall here and die. His body has died and there's no power left to support him. So I'm fine. I won't lose to anyone. As long as I have you, Berserker. But that cannot be allowed. His mind is dead. Supporting his body with his will that should no longer exist, he parts from this world. His body is still standing, just as it was when he was invincible. As if to say his body has to be invincible until the very last second for the girl that depended on him. and the girl reaches him. The hand that was grasping through empty space finally touches something. Oh. Coughing up blood, the girl crawls to the hard figure. She cannot see, but she can still feel him. Berserker hasn't lost yet. She cannot see anymore, but Berserker is still strong like always. That's good, Berserker. Stay there, okay? Strength fades from her body. She is hurt and scared, but it's all right as long as he's here. He always protected her. He was scary, but he was really kind. His big body was like that of a dad, and she wanted for him to pick her up once. I'm not scared anymore, even though it's dark. You're strong, Berserker. I'm safe if you're like that. She rests her body on him. It feels as though he'll rest one of his big, solid hands on her head. It's probably true. He should be patting her head when she opens her eyes. It's a bit cold. Her body is cold. Recalling the forest from that time, the girl smiles. It happened so long ago. Recalling the giant that protected her even when injured, the girl peacefully falls asleep. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.